All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoops' company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com. Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. All right, we're back and we're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And I'll tell you what, I don't know, after that polar vortex, I think we're all still trying to warm up a little bit around here. But the weather was nice today here in Ohio. We got up into the 50s. Sounds like it was like that out along the East Coast, too. I'm sure Florida was experiencing much, much nicer weather. But, hey, that's the way it goes. So, obviously, we're back and we're live once again. We're here on Wednesdays. We're here on Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern. Why? Well, that's just when we throw the switch around here and see what comes. So, looking into the chat, I see the Bills are in. Jason, Mark, Tony, Bob, Nelson, Pear. Quite a few of them dropping in. Nice to see. And definitely got a kick out of Nelson welcoming Ohio Relic Hunter under Sir Speedy. Bill's watching the in-studio cam. Welcome to Paul as he drops into the chat as well. And everyone else who may be joining us from wherever it is that you're joining us from. There's Zach. So I know we've seen, we've got Maine, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, quite a few, California, quite a few states dropping into the chat here the way it looks. Nice to see, definitely. And I'm sure quite a few throughout the Midwest as well.
Obviously, with our guest having quite a presence in the Midwest himself, so to speak, there on the Detecting the Heartland group. So the link's in the description tonight. Obviously, first and foremost, our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors, Chuck Smalley, the man with the plan, the dealer of choice, the one we like to plug here on the show. Below that, we've got the welcome to Thomas. Below that, we've got XTREME Scoops, and then obviously our link for Detectees. Get your Beyond Sight and Sound apparel or Relics Radio, whatever sort of metal detecting apparel you would like to purchase. Ken and Mark do a great job over there at Detectees. We've also got the links for the XP Team USA Facebook group, podcast, website, all of that. Their podcast is every other Friday right here on Spreaker. And then we've also got the link for our featured group of the month, so to speak, Dirt Pirates Detecting. I see the pirate just dropped into the chat herself there. Welcome aboard, Barb. And be sure and check out the group. If you are not a member of Dirt Pirates Detecting, you should go and check that out. Definitely. And then, like I said, check out the link to Detectees. Obviously, today I am sporting the Beyond Sight and Sound hoodie. It has been nice weather, but it's still a little chilly here in the studio. And then the last link in the info for tonight is the link for 413 Mass Digger on YouTube. If you are not familiar with that channel, you should go and check it out. If you like what you see and you subscribe, make sure to turn on that notification bell so you do not miss any uploads, because I'm telling you, this guy is out there and posting a video about every time I turn around, it seems like. It's awesome. And definitely very good videos. Not a lot of heavy editing or anything like that. It's kind of on the raw side, you could say, but sometimes that's a very refreshing change of pace. So, let's go ahead and get him in here as well. The guest tonight is actually Ray Sawyer, 413 Mass Digger out of Massachusetts. How's it going tonight, Ray?
How you doing tonight, buddy? Appreciate you having me.
Not bad, not bad. Hopefully the weather's good out there in Mass.
It's a little warm, but we're getting some rain right now. It's supposed to turn to freezing rain tonight.
Ooh, well, hopefully it doesn't lock the ground up on you or anything. Or, well, I don't know. Is the ground froze there for you now?
The regular ground is frozen. I'm still getting some huntable ground in the woods. That's about it. But yeah, the regular ground is frozen.
Wow. Well, that's one nice thing about the woods. You can always extend that hunting season, so to speak, and you don't have to worry about this time of the year, you don't have to worry about the overgrowth or the ticks or anything like that either.
It's so much better in the winter. I mean, aside from the mosquitoes and the bees, it's awesome hunting in the winter. I don't have to worry about like you said, none of the ticks, none of the overgrowth. It's a lot of the bushes are all dead. I can get in there good and to the spots I can't get to in the summer.
Nice. So it kind of gives you something to look forward to while you're hunting during the summertime. You know you can get into those other spots later into the season.
Absolutely. Yep.
Nice. So for those who don't know, let's go ahead and let everybody know just who you are. When did you get started in the hobby? Because actually, even though you've been doing the YouTube for a while, you've kind of you've grown up in the hobby, so to speak.
Yeah, I sure have, actually. I'm actually from Springfield, Massachusetts, and back when I was about 11, 12 years old, my aunt and uncle would go up to the beaches in New Hampshire for Memorial Day weekend, but we'd stay the week. And about 11, 12 years old, I was following my uncle around on the beaches, you know, mesmerized by his finds pouch full of watches and rings and, you know, the junk too, but the good stuff amazed me. So
Right.
I'd follow him around and I'd dig his hole for him while he hunted. Kind of got me intrigued. And bought my first detector around 14, 15 years old. He had a White's Coin Master, so I bought the Gold Master because, of course, it said Gold Master, so I thought it'd give me nothing but gold.
Right, you thought maybe you were going to one-up him?
Yeah, exactly. So I got me the Gold Master, and I didn't really get taught about the history part of it. It was mostly about beach hunting and just finding like the rings and what people dropped on the beaches and whatnot. So I didn't get none of the history taught about it to me until I was about 14 or 15 when I bought my first detector. I started hunting more beaches, and I didn't. About 20, 21 years old is when I really started getting into it serious, going into the historical parks and whatnot.
Nice. Okay, so you were exposed, I guess, in a sense, to Whites, so you figured you'd follow in his footsteps and start out with a Whites. But that's certainly not what you run now. So how many machines have you used?
Right now I have 5 machines. 4 of them are Garrett's, and I have 1 White's EFX 300. I have both the 300 and the 400 Ace, Garrett Ace detectors, and I have the AT Pro and the AT Max. And
Wow.
I use the AT Pro most of the time. I'm not a huge fan of the Max. The audio is a little too chattery for me, so I'm happy with the Pro. If I use big coils, I get nice and deep. So I'm happy using the Pro. I use the Whites every now and then too, but
Yeah, hadn't that. What detector did you come from to the DFX?
I bought 2 White's newer Coin Masters from a tag sale, and I came up from those before I ended up getting my Ace 250, and then I got my Ace 300s and 400s. But what I grew up on was a Gold Master. I used that all the way up until 15, 16 years old or so, and then I got a newer Coin Master from there.
Right. So did you find that was a bit of a learning curve coming to the DFX?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I even still, to this day, I ask guys that have been using it for upwards of 10 years, and they still say they haven't learned everything on the machine. The DFX is a super complex machine, hence why I don't use it a whole lot. Every once in a while, I'll get a kick out of it, and I use it for a few weeks, but I use my Garrett's a lot more.
Nice. Well, and it seems like apparently for your area, the AT Pro just runs a little more stable for you.
Yeah, I don't have too much problem with mineralized ground around here. I have a few areas I hunt one main park. It's about 735 acres, and about
Wow.
85%. Yeah, about 85% of it is all woods too. So I mean, there's just endless hunting of woods in there. I probably couldn't hunt the whole thing in a lifetime of hunting. But it seems like every time I get lost in those woods, I find just amazing stuff. Like I said, I could probably never walk over the same place twice in there.
I know, watching your videos, it seems like you're all the time, especially here lately, out there in those woods, and you're just out of the blue. You're pulling up silver coins or another ring or something like that. It's just scattered all through there.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I only record the clips that I see what's good in the hole, and then I press record. There's a ton of trash. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I tons and tons of trash in between those good finds, and some days I'll get lucky and have multiple silvers, or, you know, multiple silvers and a ring. I mean, this place is just loaded with good stuff, and I don't think a whole lot of metal detectors were in these woods before me, because I'm finding great stuff wide out in the open, so I don't think a whole lot of people been through there.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, obviously it's not like it's some deep, dark secret. Most of us, I would think, should know we're all out there digging trash. We're finding plenty of that, but you've got to dig through that stuff to get to the goodies.
There's no kidding that's for sure. I mean, tons of trash holes are dug. Especially me, I'm on the lookout for my gold coin, just like a bunch of other people I know, and you have to dig them trash tones to find your gold coins, you know?
Right, absolutely, and it sounds like you're definitely in a good location for that possibility. I mean, a park that size and the things that you're finding, there's had to have been quite a path to it, with quite a number of people traveling through.
Yes, sir. Like I had mentioned, it's, like I said, 85% about woods, and it's been around since 1882. So there's trails and upon trails upon, I mean, you can see old ruins of objects that were once in the park, you know, old fountains, old where the horses used to pull up and drink out of. It's so neat.
Wow,
There's a lot of history to that park.
That's got to be pretty cool, just seeing some of that stuff.
I can get lost in those woods for hours and not even lose track of time. It's amazing out there.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you do quite often anyway. I mean, you do seem to spend quite a bit of time out digging, as much as you can anyhow.
I do put a lot of time in. I'm blessed. I get to go into work about 10 o'clock in the morning, so if I wake up, say, 5 o'clock, I have a good 4.5 hours of digging before work. You know, there's days I have off or whatnot, and of course I work around my fatherly duties, but I get a lot of digging in, especially it doesn't hurt that the park is literally a quarter mile from me both ways, from my job and from home, so literally down the street.
So it's kind of like the faithful go-to quick hunt spot, or just hang out all day then?
Pretty much exactly right, yeah. I mean, and I said it's so big that I can just for one day go to this side of the park, you know, the next day go to another side of the park. It's unhunt. You can't hunt the whole thing in a lifetime of hunting, like I said.
Yeah, I imagine something like that. You're never gonna cover it all. You're never gonna find everything.
Right. And it seems like there's stuff dropped out there everywhere. I mean, you can even venture off the trails that people have been walking forever, and you find stuff up against trees, you find stuff where bushes are, you know, it's just amazing. Like, I can never get sick of hunting out there. And I got a couple of those parks around here. There's about 2 more parks here in Springfield that are really old like that and really big. Not as big as this one, but really big.
Wow. So you've just got, basically, you've got more land than what you'll ever be able to cover with your coil.
Pretty much, for woods hunting wise, yes, I have endless amounts of woods I can go through and hunt with no issues whatsoever.
Nice.
I'd like to get a lot of, because these parks are surrounded by historical houses and areas, and I'd love to get into some of them yards, but the yards are so perfectly manicured that it's impossible to get permissions on these lawns. You know, they're afraid you're going to demolish their lawns, and they immediately say no, so.
You know, that is another good point. You said you kind of started out doing the beach hunting and everything, and then you got more exposed to the history aspect of things and started to go after the more, I guess, older finds and things of that nature rather than just the recent drops or whatever. When did you make that transition from, kind of picturing yourself as a beach hunter to a dirt digger, I guess?
Well, like I said, my uncle kind of just gave me the fire to want to metal detect and find stuff. I didn't get serious and start researching places till about 5 years ago. I got, like I said, my first metal detectors at 15, 16, and then I started getting serious into the beach detecting in my early 20s and whatnot, just finding. And at that time, of course, every kid in their 20s, needed money, so I'd sell my gold finds and whatnot. But about 5 years ago, I started researching history in Springfield, Mass, and started really collecting stuff. Now I hoard stuff, but
yeah, I was gonna say, wow, you've got quite a collection already. I mean, I think it was your last video, maybe you had lost hunt footage or something, so you were kind of going over your finds of 2018 and maybe even a little bit of 2017 in there. Man, you had a pile of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. Like you said, some of it's from the end of 2017. The rings I had put in the description of the video. The rings are from all of my detecting. So that just wasn't from 2018. But yeah, all those finds are from 2018 and a little bit of 2017. And all those are set up at my work so I can enjoy them while I'm at work all the time. And that's not the stuff I have at home. I have a whole bunch of stuff at home. So I'm thinking about making a video combining everything.
That's awesome. I like that, having it set up at work where you can enjoy it there when you can't get out and hunt. That's cool.
I figure why not, because I'm hunting a lot before work, and I'm running into work with like a full finds bag, and I dump everything out, and I just started organizing everything and setting everything up, and it started to look good after a while, so I just kept adding to it, and by the end of 2018, I was like, wow, I should take a little video of this, there's a lot of stuff, and you just find so much out in these woods, it's impossible not to find awesome stuff, like, every time you go, pretty much.
Wow.
If it's not coins, it might be a ring. If it's not a ring, it might be just a cool relic, a shoe buckle, flat buttons, tomback buttons, all types of stuff.
I noticed, too, in your video, you had quite a number of religious pendants in there, too. Are you pulling those all out of the park, or is that kind of a combined thing from the years of beach hunting and the park hunting?
Nope, those are from a little bit of 2017 and all of 2018 between my 3 parks I have here that I hunt. Those
Good
are all
grief.
out. Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. So
a lot of people might not know what you're talking about on that video, but there is a lot of silver, and a lot of people say, what are you digging in, like a graveyard or something? Because there's like all types of religious charms, and
yeah, it's almost like you've got permission for a large church property or something.
Right, exactly. I mean, I even found this little capsule with a little Virgin Mary trinket inside, and someone had said it, someone buries those in, a religion. Made me feel bad for finding it, first of all, but they just said, people bury religious stuff for, religious reasons, and I'm just finding silver in the ground. I'm not looking at it like that,
Right. Yeah, it all depends on the context that you're looking at it in. I mean, I've gotten some flack about things like that before, too. I had a video up, that was probably a couple of years ago. I ran across the signal and wound up, ultimately, by the end of the hole, I had, I think, a rosary, 2 silver necklaces, and about 21 religious pendants.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people were like, hey, that's cool. But there were also a number of people that, well, that was put there for a reason. You shouldn't have been digging it up. And
Right.
And it's like, well, I got the signal. I went after it. If you have a problem with digging up, say, a gold crucifix from a necklace on a beach somewhere, then throw it back in the ground. Let me know where you were, and I'll go dig it up.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I've heard that a few times on some of the religious charms I found in 2018 that, and like I said, to me, it's just, wow, I'm finding a silver religious charm in the ground, and I don't look at it like, I mean, all these pieces can't be buried by someone that's burying it for a reason. I think a lot of it's dropped.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that probably a vast majority of it is just legitimate drops.
Yeah.
I'll
have to agree with that.
There's no way that we can know that it was put there for a particular reason, and I guess in that aspect, taking it up out of the ground, you're still preserving the past. Whether it was there from 60 years ago or 6 months ago.
Right.
But definitely a lot of pendants in that video. That was very interesting to see. The crosses and pendants and everything else. It kind of made me wonder, and maybe you might know, I'm sure you've done a little bit of research on the area and everything. Could it be possible that park was used for a number of church picnics or something?
I thought about that because the area is so big, and I have found a wide variety of different religious pendants. But a part of me just thinks, the park being open and since 1882, just so many people being through, because I'm not finding a particular amount in a separate area. I'm just
right,
finding
so
them
it doesn't.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be concentrated into any one particular area of the park. It's just all over the place.
Right.
And with
if I was finding a lot of them in the same area, I'd be like, wait a minute here, like what went on here?
Right.
And if you could see the terrain of all these woods, you'd know there was no meeting place. You know what I mean? The terrain is just, I know 150 years ago, the terrain was different, but this is bad terrain, mostly hills and just trails on the side of hills and all just crazy woods all over the place. So
right,
a lot of this wasn't.
So you're kind of going. So you're kind of going. This is all just. It's random. There's no rhyme or reason to it at all.
Right.
There can't be a specific reason why they're there. They've been lost over the years. All the traffic.
It's exactly how it is. Like I said, the place is just so big. Nothing's really been in the same. I found coins and whatnot in the same general areas. Don't get me wrong. Some are old picnic groves way back that are all overgrown in now and stuff. So I'll find a lot of coins and, rings and old kind of stuff like that in those areas, but not the religious stuff. The religious is just sporadic all over the place.
Nice. So what's your oldest find?
Oldest coin or relic or oldest find in general?
Just in general. Take your pick.
I do have a 1795 Liberty Cap cent, which is my oldest coin.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of the, I think only 3 or 4 years, those Liberty Caps were minted, because Lady Liberty, or I believe it's Lady Liberty on the coin, she's wearing this little hat, and they were offended by the hat, so they axed production of it and made them without a hat, so I have the one with the hat, which is rare.
That had to have been quite a surprise seeing that come out of the ground. Or did you even realize what it was at that point?
I knew it was a large cent right off the bat. They're bigger than your average large cent. They're a little bigger coin, but when I saw the date, I was like shocked at first. And it wasn't very deep either. It was only like 4 inches deep, which was surprising.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. Was it in pretty good shape then? I know a lot of times when I see recovered items from Massachusetts, because of the sandy soil and everything, a lot of the stuff comes out of the ground in such nice shape.
Yeah, I'd imagine not. Around here it's a little different. I don't know if it's the pine trees. Every copper I get just about is roasted.
Well, yeah, probably with the pine trees then.
Yeah, seldomly I'll get dates off seldomly I'll get ones in decent shape. A lot of them are pretty rough shape. The 1795 was worn. It was a slick coin, pretty much. You could see the date and the outline of Lady Liberty, and I messed up. I used a little water on it, so I kind of took the detail away. You're not supposed to put water on coppers.
Right.
Yeah, and I found that and was inexperienced and touched it with water, and I made the mistake of taking the detail away a little bit on that coin.
That's how we learn, though. We've got a caller, 515. You're live. Who do we have?
This is John from Iowa. I got a question for Ray.
Okay.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ray. Ray's a legend on our Facebook page. Ray, question is, out in the woods, those acres and acres and acres of woods that you hunt, have you ever come across a situation that was scary or that have made you nervous?
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
It's funny because this park is like 735 acres in the middle of a city. So as far as scary, I always wonder if I'm going to get eaten by a bear or something like that, but I've never seen a bear.
That large of a park, it's almost like a nature preserve or something with all those woods.
It really is, but all sides of this place is city. So I see deer. That's about it as far as animal encounters or anything like that. I see deer. I never really ran into any wildlife. And people, I never really see people out there either that much. I'll see joggers and hikers every now and then. But like I said, the place is so big that you rarely see other people. And I'm always in the woods.
Big and it's right in the middle of a town, a city?
I'm sorry?
Is that what you said? The place is that big and it's right in the middle of a city?
Yeah, it's 735 acres. It's a forest park in Springfield, Mass. It's just a big park in the middle of the city. And literally, if you look at the map of Springfield, there's just a big circle of woods. That's Forest Park.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. That's the only question I had for you. Doing a great job tonight.
Appreciate it, my friend. I'll see you in the group.
Yep, no problem. See you
Thanks
tomorrow.
for the call.
Buddy.
You bet.
Well, apparently you did get some curiosity from some of your buddies.
Yeah, for sure. I was hoping some people would call in. I'm glad to see we had a caller call in.
Yeah, I see we've got Fred in from New Jersey and Steve Adams in the group as well here. Welcome to them.
Okay. Good. Welcome, guys. Appreciate you showing up.
But that's got to be quite an experience. I mean, to be in the city, but yet you feel like you're miles away from everyone, the way it sounds in this park.
Yeah, and like I said, it's surrounded. It's funny because I go out, I'm in such a zen out in these woods, just like every one of us, right? We're out there. We love our hobby.
Absolutely. Throw the headphones on. Everything else fades to the background.
But I can hear sirens in the background. You know what I mean? I hear cars in the background. Like, this is my, my little country inside of a city, I guess, I'm surrounded on all four sides by, one side has a highway and the rest is just city on each other side. So I'm always hearing, horns, I hear sirens, and we have an air base nearby, so I hear planes all the time. It's just, you don't really get to enjoy the country part of it.
Right, so you kind of feel like you're out in the wilderness, but yet you still have the urban soundscape.
Exactly. That's exactly it. I mean, and every day I say it to myself, too. It's like you nonstop hear sirens, whether it be an ambulance or cops, or you just nonstop hear sirens. And Springfield is, I believe, the second biggest city in Mass, so second or third biggest city in Mass. I'm not exactly sure on that, but it's a big city, and there's just a lot of people here. It's really congested. No one really people do go into the park, but they stay in the park. I'm in the woods all the time, so it's like I'm out in nature all the time, and that's where I love being.
Right, so probably another reason why you don't necessarily run across too many people, since you're in the park, but you're kind of off the beaten path, so to speak.
Exactly, yep, that's a perfect way to explain it. There's a main park. It kind of does this like road through the park. There's one main road that kind of feathers through the whole area of the park, and with parking lots off to the left and right, and there's ball fields and stuff, and they don't really want you digging on the ball fields, so we stay away from all those. Right. And we just spend our time in the woods.
Yeah, we get a lot of that here too, where they don't mind us being in the parks, but they really tend to start pulling their hair out if you even look cross-eyed at a sports field.
Exactly. Same here.
Can't exactly be on there. Can't even have the thought of digging up a plug there.
Yeah. And I mean, things change, times change with the metal detectors. Back in the day, they kind of gave you a general idea of where the target was. Now you can pinpoint right where the target is. You make a little divot and you can't even see a hole, They're just worried about you're going to leave this big old crater in your yard, and it's not like that no more, and a lot of people don't understand.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of well, I guess you could say uneducated people, so to speak, that think they know what the hobby is all about, and they see you doing it and automatically assume you've got a backhoe parked around the corner or something.
Right.
That's never any good for us at all. Have you ever had much of a problem with people kind of approaching you? What are you doing here? What do you think you're doing? Are you allowed to do that?
In the park?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, like I said, I spend most of my time in the woods, so I rarely see people, if I do at all. Occasionally I'll come to maybe the side of the woods, which would be up against a jogging trail or a walking trail or something like that. I might see someone walking their dogs, but no, everyone pretty much pays their own mind, and they might get startled by me because they see me walking around in circles out in the woods all by myself, not knowing what I'm doing.
Right. Do you, since you don't have a whole lot of interaction with the people out there when you're hunting, do you get maybe the occasional person that's just sheer curiosity? Hey, are you having any luck? I've seen people do that on TV.
Actually, I do. I get a few people every now and then that ask me if I find stuff, and you'd be surprised. A lot of people are actually, wow, I'd like to get one of those someday. Is it fun? And I try to explain how much I love the hobby in like a 2-minute conversation, pretty much. And yeah, I get the occasional people that want to see what I might have found, or ask if I found anything, or they ask me what I get a lot of, what are you looking for, money, and stuff like that. And if I try to explain to them it's all about history. I'm looking for coins before any of us were born, before any of us are, I try to explain all that in a little bit of conversation I have with these people.
Right. Or, that you're looking for old buttons or tokens or anything like that. I mean, it's all part of the past.
Yeah, I tell them anything to do with history, and everything's got a history to, like I say, I hoard a lot of my finds. I think everything has a history to it, whether it be something someone might throw away, I keep for some odd reason. I got a few things that I keep that people have no idea why. But I think everything has a history, so I try to keep it all, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. Do you ever find yourself, digging up something out of the park where you're going, wow, this is just so unexpected. This is so cool. I can't wait to get back home and get onto a computer or something, find the story behind the find. What is the past of it? What is the history?
Yeah, I do that a lot with my, I got a shoe buckle that I got out of the woods here, and that was something I really wasn't expecting. When I did find it, I was shaking. I knew I had what I had, but I just wasn't expecting it. A lot of my bullets that I find too, I found some musket balls and 3-ringers that I completely didn't expect around here anyway. And
you really are in an interesting place. It's like kind of like a smorgasbord for finds. Anything and everything seems to pop up.
And that's what made me say to myself, geez, I need to record this stuff and kind of put it on video. Granted, my video, like you said, they're kind of raw and to the point metal detecting, but I just had to record some of the stuff I was finding. It's just amazing what comes out of the ground in this woods.
Yeah, absolutely.
In these parts, anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice to do it just for documentation or your own reference if you'd like. And if you're out there off the beaten path, so to speak, probably not a lot of people are hunting with you. So it's nice to have something that you can share with your friends. Say get the video done and post up a photo of your finds and a link to the video over on Detecting the Heartland or something.
Right. That helps a lot, being able to, have it on YouTube, and even if I want to go back and look at some of my older videos and, remind myself that I found that and how awesome that, that feeling comes right back, remembering when I found it. And, it's good to have all this technology nowadays. I can store everything and keep memories forever,
Right. Yeah. How long have you been doing your YouTube channel now? Because I think, you're right around or just over 400 subs.
This is my first year of making YouTube videos.
Well, I would say that's not bad at all to already have accumulated that many subscribers. You must be doing something right.
I'd like to think so. I know a lot of it was word of mouth. We had a couple on Detecting the Heartland. We had a little contest, go over my page and get entered in a giveaway type thing. We did that once, and there's a nice community of diggers. Once your name starts going around, everyone starts liking each other's pages, and that helped a lot. And I like to think I'm doing the right thing too, finding good stuff. So hopefully that's working that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if it is just like you said, kind of raw video, not a lot of editing or anything, it's short, it's to the point. Hey, this is what I found. And some people actually prefer that type of video.
I had a few people say that to me because I'm real self-conscious about my videos. I know they're not pretty. They're not like your average video you watch with Stealth Diggers or Hoover Boys or whatnot. Those guys' videos are great. The editing is amazing. And I unfortunately don't know how to do all that editing. all I know how to do is record the video and kind of transfer it to YouTube and play it all together. So, and throw in some words. That's about all I know how to do. So,
well, and sometimes,
unfortunately,
sometimes the editing can be very time consuming as well. And I don't know for sure, but I kind of get the impression that when you're doing your videos, you're recording this right onto your cell phone.
Yeah, I tried doing it with this other handheld camera, and I couldn't figure out how to transfer files from that to my laptop and get them onto the editing app, so it became a big headache when I could just record it on my phone, which isn't too bad. I mean, the quality's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. What
like
sort
you
of...
said, the endings are a little time consuming because I'm trying to fit in, shout outs to other YouTube channels and showing off some of the finds. But
well,
I noticed a lot of the videos are kind of a little time consuming. My first few videos were like an hour long, each one of them, and people were like, "Whoa, you gotta knock them down a little bit," So I did that, and it's weird because I feel like I can only, maybe record 6 holes, and it's already like 40 minutes of footage, and it's kind of hard to fit everything into a small video.
Right, kind of going, man, I'm going to have to drop some of this somewhere or something if I'm going to try to get this all whittled down to a little bit.
Right. So no one wants to watch a long video. I learned that real quick.
Right. We've got another caller coming in from Florida. Hopefully the weather's nice down there, Mark.
Yeah, the weather's great here right now. I'm just trying to recover from being under the weather a little bit. But
yeah,
I wanted to call in and...
You sound like you've got a bit of a cold there. Hopefully you get that beat.
Yeah, it's a little more than a cold, but I think I'm on the back end of it, so I'm doing a lot better. So, but hey, Josh, yeah, it's good to call in. I wanted to just call in real quick and say hi to Ray and ask a couple of questions if it's okay.
Shoot.
Appreciate you calling, buddy.
Sure, Ray. Hey, listen, up there in Massachusetts, we see these guys, especially like Layton Harrington. I don't know if you know Layton up there, because he's a different part of Mass, but he finds tons of like Indian heads. And I know one year, I think he was over 400 maybe. Josh, you have a better number of that, but I wanted to find out, first of all, what is the most, go ahead.
Actually, I think he was over 400 again last year, too.
Oh, that's it. I mean, look, down here in Florida, that would just be absolutely insane. But I was curious as to what coin you find the most, like of the older coins. What do you find the most of? And then if you do find Indian heads in that park, how many are you finding on, let's say, an average year?
Good question.
Indian head pennies or Indian arrows? Yeah. I didn't hear.
Indian head pennies.
No, I'm sorry, Indian head pennies. Yeah.
I don't find surprisingly, I don't find a whole lot of Indian head pennies, and I'm not sure if that's because they sound like crap on the Garrett. I get lucky finding Indian head pennies. Some of the time I can tell, hey, that's an Indian head penny, and I'll dig it. For some reason, real scratchy and jumpy on the Garrett's a little bit. So I don't know if I'm mistaking it for trash. I try to dig all of my targets most of the time. But on a good year, I'll get probably 20, 25 Indian head pennies. And it's pretty much by luck every time. I'm thinking I'm digging maybe a Wheatie on edge or even a memorial penny. Sometimes I mistake and it comes out and it's a Indian head penny. I don't get a whole lot, unfortunately. I'm sure the ground's loaded, because the ground is pretty much loaded with all types of coins.
Which Garrett are you using the most then? Because you're saying that it's unusual for you to find them because it has an unusual signal. Which Garrett are you using to get those signals?
Most of the time I'm using my AT Pro. Like I said, I have the Max also, which is a little too chattery for me. But I use the AT Pro most of the time.
Okay.
And they they like to ring up, in the 60s sometimes, and they ring up in the 70s sometimes, and they jump around a lot. So like
Oh, wow.
I hate to admit it, but sometimes I pass them.
That must be
and sometimes
something
I
to
get
do
lucky.
with the ground or something. That seems kind of
It
odd.
could be. They're just not I don't know. You know what I mean? You'll see me say that a lot of times in my videos. Like, I'll get jumpy targets. I'll get jumpy this, jumpy that. And I don't know if I don't have mineralized ground here. So I never really get no feedback issues or anything like that. I know you did ask what I find most of.
Right.
Yeah, as far as your older coins.
Depends what you call old. More than anything, being mercuries, rosies. A lot of barbers come out of my parks. For the most of it would be silver dime kind of coin.
Okay. Right.
Aside from regular clad, I'll get a lot of clad. But older coins, I'll get, a lot of silver dimes. Any kind of silver, quarters, dimes, mostly dimes. But
And I'm going to guess that those are predominantly mercury dimes?
Yeah, I'll get a lot of mercury dimes, a lot of rosy dimes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, too. Yeah, from that age you're talking about, it would all be barbers and mercuries and some rosies.
Right. I mean, all through 2018, it was all mercury dimes and barbers. I was getting a lot of them for some reason. I mean, I had a couple 5 silver days, and I got four barbers and a mercury dime one of those days. I forgot what video that is, but
man, that's crazy.
I recorded that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good day.
But I get a lot of lucky days like that, whether it be silver coins and a ring, or I got a nice gold wedding band and the silver ring and a couple silver coins. One of my videos. So
now you do know that now that you've told everybody where you hunt, there's going to be at least 20 detectors in that park tomorrow, right?
Plus Mark.
Hey, the park is so big. I tell people all the time, "Come on down. I need someone to hunt with me."
Oh, that's great. Well, great.
Yeah, I don't hear a whole lot of people that live around me, but like I said, it's a public park, so feel free to come join me. It's that big.
Oh, that's great. Well, sounds like you're in a great area. And it's a pleasure to hear you on tonight on Josh's show. Thanks for being on, and I'll let you guys get back to it. I just wanted to ask a couple of questions. Thanks, Ray.
Hey, man, thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for the call, Mark.
All right, Josh. Bye-bye.
And speaking of Mark calling, I'm sure, the listeners that follow the shows will hear about this tomorrow, too, most likely. Relics Radio is back up and running with their caller capability. They did finally get that worked out, and they should be able to take calls no problem tomorrow night. So that's going to be a nice change of pace. It did. That was a struggle for the last couple of weeks, but looks like they've finally got it covered. Now with your AT Pro, which I was kind of surprised. I figured Mark may have even wanted to ask that. What is your go-to coil?
That's tough like I said, when I'm in the woods most of the time, I use my either stock or my 5x8.
Okay.
I don't do a whole lot of open fields, so I'm not into the big coils because I got, sticks and branches and bushes and this and that. I'm, trees and fallen logs and all types of stuff I'm swinging around.
Right, that's
So
why I
maybe
figured if your
most-
5x8 wasn't your go-to, it was probably a close second.
Right. It's pretty much my 5x8 is my go-to. I'm not happy with the depth I get on it a lot. I don't feel like I'm getting too deep with it. That's when I'll switch over to my stock, so I don't go much bigger than that. Like I said, I'm not doing a whole lot of open field hunting or anything like that, so I
Right.
keep it relatively small
Yeah,
and try to
that
get the most depth out of it.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. I mean, you're out there hunting in the woods. There's a lot of stuff that kind of snags onto your coil, and obviously the bigger footprint, the more stuff you're getting caught on.
Pretty much exactly right. And like I said, I'm doing a lot of hills all the time, so when I'm got my back leg on the bottom of the hill and I'm like trying to keep my balance up, it's easier to have a lighter, easier to swing coil. So the 5x8 is usually my go-to coil.
That makes sense. Definitely makes sense. What's I'm sure it's hard to narrow down, especially after seeing your last video. But if you had to narrow it down, what are some of your favorite finds?
Pretty much what I listed. Definitely my shoe buckle was pretty much one of my favorite finds. I got a nice colonial shoe buckle out of the ground in an area of my park, completely unexpected. I thought I was digging a piece of just metal trash, and that came out. 3 ringers. I don't see a whole lot of those ever, so when I found those are like extra special. It's hard to pick, you know. I got a lot of old RGs, and you know, I got a big 1876 silver German coin. It's about the size of a Morgan dollar. Yeah.
That had to have been kind of a heart stopper.
It was, because I thought I had my first Morgan dollar, actually. I was pretty much screaming when I first saw the size of it. And then when I sprayed it off, I saw a weird guy's head on it. Not making fun of the coin or anything, but it was just something I didn't ever see before.
Right, you're going, this is unusual. I don't recognize this. I'm a little stumped.
Right. And it's a 1876 5 mark German coin. Big old silver coin. It's huge.
But even at that, even though it wasn't a Morgan, that's still got to be a pretty exciting find.
Oh, I was thrilled. I was definitely thrilled to find it. I mean, I do have Morgan on my bucket list, or piece dollar, any kind of Morgan dollar or anything like that. So I thought I had that at first. So it wasn't a letdown that, you know, it wasn't, but it's a big, beautiful condition silver coin, and I was super happy to find it.
And I would imagine with you saying that, you know, because of the pine trees and stuff, a lot of the coppers are coming out kind of toasted. Are from what I've seen on your videos anyway, it seems like the silvers, they still come out in pretty good shape.
Silvers come out beautiful. I mean, even sometimes when I get into like the darker soil, you can tell it's silver as soon as you pop the plug and you see it in the hole. I mean, you can tell it's a silver, but one wipe and they're beautiful, one squirt with the water and they're beautiful again, you know, so they come out beautiful all the time.
Nice.
Pretty much every silver coin I found that. 2017, I had 136 silver coins, and or 137, I'm sorry. And 2018, I had 136, and probably every one of those came out of the ground beautiful after like one wipe of the dirt away, you know?
That is awesome. That is very impressive. Good job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And a lot of them were, like I told the gentleman who called in, a lot of them were Mercury dimes, Rosie dimes, Barber dimes, Standing Liberty quarters, Barber quarters. I still got a ton of bucket lister coins I haven't found. But a lot of silvers in that park for some reason.
Right, with all of those coins around there, is there just that one coin that you would think it's gotta be here, but yet you're still not getting your coil over it in that park? Yeah, it'd have to be 1800s American silver. I just can't seem to find I got a couple seeded dimes. I don't have any of like the bust quarters, the bust dimes,
no seated quarters, no seated halves, no barber halves, anything like that. Any 1800 silver I'd love to find aside from a couple barber dimes.
Wow. Well, it sounds like,
yeah.
I mean, certainly the history is there. They got to be there somewhere, but it's just, it's such a large area.
I'd imagine. I have one area of my park that I refer to as Largy Land. It's the only area of my park that I've ever found large scents in. I can't find large scents anywhere else in this 735 acres of park. And it is the oldest. It's the oldest area of the park.
That was what I was going to say, was I wonder if that's like the older area then.
Yeah, it definitely is. The guy who originally started the park with his land, that was all his land over on that side of the park. And it was where the first picnic grove was back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. And that's where I got a majority of my large scents. Well, all of them, matter of fact. But that's where I say to myself, there's got to be, old silver out here. I just can't find it for some reason.
Right. Well, the way it sounds, as much time as you spend out there, you'll get your coil over it sooner or later. We've got a caller, 319. Who do we have?
Hey, it's Casey Oberreiter from Detecting the Heartland. Just wanted to say hi.
Hey, how's it going,
what's
Casey?
up, buddy?
Not too much. Good to hear you, Ray. I just wanted
Good to
say
hear from you.
I can't say enough good things about Ray. He's obviously a huge part of DTH, and just can't thank him enough for all the work he puts into the page. And
he is one of the admins, too, if I remember right.
Yeah. Yep, he's been an admin for probably a year now. But, his positivity and interaction on every single post on there is just amazing. It's much appreciated, buddy.
Wow, man, I appreciate that, man. It means a lot when you respect that like that.
Yeah, I don't know how the guy finds the time. All the digging he's doing, plus the working and the videos and commenting on everybody's posts, too. Definitely dedicated.
It's easy when we have the phone.
Right, and it's just crazy because I feel like we're really close friends, even though we've never even met, and you're like 1,200 miles away on the East Coast, but I still feel super close to you, and it's really cool.
Maybe,
that, man.
Maybe Casey will have to make
for sure.
Maybe Casey will have to make a trip out there to Massachusetts and do some hunting with you.
Right, I think Ray needs to cash in some silver, and he could pay for my trip, I bet.
Well, it sounds like he's found enough.
Sounds like a plan. That could be possible, buddy.
Yeah, right.
It's funny because Casey throws an awesome Detecting the Heartland silver hunt, and I've been meaning to get out to it for a couple years, this was the second year that I could have went. I can't make it. I can't get the time off from work, but we will meet each other one day, buddy. I promise you that.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Yeah, maybe you can get out there and participate in one of his hunts. I have heard some great things about the hunts that they put on. Great group, too.
Oh, amazing group.
Appreciate it.
It's I look forward to the group every day. It's like family to me, every one of the members, so I look forward to it every day, so it's my pleasure, buddy.
Yeah, thanks again. I'll let you guys get back to it then. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for calling, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the call, Casey.
Yeah, you bet. You have a good night.
You too.
See you later, bud.
Bye-bye.
Well, it sounds like you've had a couple of friends calling in tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I know I blasted it on the Facebook page there for the whole day, so I was hoping a lot of people could see it.
And I know
a few people wanted to call in, but they had some emergency issues come up, so they couldn't make it.
Yeah, I saw where there were a number of people commenting that they'd like to be able to listen in, but they weren't sure if they'd make it. But that's the beauty of the podcast. There's always the archive.
Yes, sir.
Can't beat that at all. Definitely.
Nope.
So
I'll definitely be sharing that link a few times for sure.
So with the area that you're hunting in, I mean, you really are in a great location. But if you had that opportunity to go anywhere to hunt, you know, whether it's those historic homes you can't get permission for or not, where would you head?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I pretty much got everything I want here.
Yeah, it sounds
I'd like to
it.
go. Yeah, I mean it's pretty easy to say that everything I want in hunting I have right down the street from me, north and south with the parks. But I'd love to get on an old Civil War battlefield and find some more bullets that were actually, you know, dropped by soldiers in action, or, you know, a nice U.S. belt buckle or something cool like that, you know.
There you go. Yeah.
I'd like to get on something like that. I'm trying to plan a road trip maybe next year or so and hit a bunch of states on the way down. And there's like 50 people in the Detecting the Heartland group that I'd love to meet. And hopefully I can meet everyone in that one trip. But
wow, that sounds like a logistic nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of people that are just so awesome. I interact with every single day on the page. And like I said, they grew on to me. So there's a lot of people in the group that I'd love to meet. I'd love to hunt with. I'd love to go onto their permissions with them. I mean, countless people in the group that are awesome hunters. They always post awesome things to. It's hard not to compliment on each and every post, you know, so much awesome stuff being dug all over the place. So,
right, and we are such a friendly community too that really, I mean, once you start communicating with some people through their posts, it really is kind of an extended family, so to speak.
It really is. I mean, just the way people reach out to, I mean, some things go wrong with some people, you know. The community reaches out, they help out. I mean, I've seen people donate detectors. I myself, someone got burned a little bit in a different group. I ended up sending out a couple silver rounds and replaced a son that wasn't even my business just because I felt bad.
Nice.
So it's all like a huge family, you know what I mean? So I look forward to it every day, and it's pretty easy to get along with every day. I look forward to it, to be honest.
Right. That is awesome. I'm sure it kind of really helps too on those days where you're not able to get out and dig for whatever reason, you know, doing the fatherly duties or work or whatever. You can still connect with everybody on the group.
Absolutely. It's pretty easy to, especially on days here when it's either pouring rain or, you know, snow got me not going out to the woods for a few days. It's easy to go onto my phone and look at all the awesome finds that people are finding. Showing 70-degree weather when it's negative 20 here. You know, you gotta love that.
Oh yeah, going, oh, that you're killing me. You're just making that cabin fever worse. Stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, there's a lot of great hunters in the groups. That just find amazing. I mean, to me, they just blow me out of the water in my eyes. I mean, yeah, I find a lot of stuff, but some of the history that these guys are finding is just amazing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially
phenomenal.
On these Civil War battlefields and whatnot, you know, the bullets and the American breastplates and all these just amazing finds.
Right. What do you do as far as cleaning any of your finds? Are there any you've wanted to clean up to a little better condition? How do you go about preserving them for your display case?
That's another good question. Me personally, I'm not huge on cleaning.
Right. Sometimes less is best.
Right. Especially any of my coins, I literally don't clean. I learned the hard way on that 1795 Liberty Cap cent that I'll never clean another copper ever again.
Right.
And a lot of the silvers, like I said, you spray them off a little bit. They're clean enough. I just throw them in a cardboard protector and keep them with all my other silvers.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other finds, I really just brush dirt off with like a soft bristle toothbrush and kind of leave it how it is. I really don't get into the cleaning too much.
Right, so you don't go way overboard with it or anything, just make the detail pop, and that's good enough.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do with a lot. So a lot of the stuff I'm finding, it might be brittle, it might be already ruined, so cleaning might not even do anything. The only thing I would clean, if I were to at all, that'd be silvers, and there's no reason to even clean those. Even the common date ones, I just leave how they are.
Right,
I just don't like
little bit of soap
ruining
and
any.
water, they're fine.
Yeah, I learned that trying to clean a lot of stuff, you ruin a lot of stuff, and it's just not worth it.
Right, you find yourself regretting taking that step.
Right. I mean, you figure this stuff's been in the ground, like how can water really hurt it? But for some reason, water does a lot more damage on a lot of like coppers and whatnot than it does help anything.
Yeah, it does have a serious potential to kind of wash away the details when it comes to the coppers.
Right. I mean, obviously water is not going to hurt silver or anything like that. Matter of fact, it'll clean a silver coin up nice if you hit it with water, but you're also scratching it if you're trying to like rub the dirt off of it. And again, key dates and stuff like that matter. All the other ones, people yell at me for rubbing the dirt off my Mercury dimes or rubbing the dirt off my Rosy dimes, and it's like the Rosies and Mercs, I mean, relax, they're not, I'm not too worried about running to a coin dealer and selling my Mercury coins and getting told that I scratched them by cleaning them,
Right, yeah, I mean, for the most part, unless it's a key date or some sort of an error, you're dealing with melt value on those.
Right. A lot of the times when I'm wiping them off in my videos anyways, I'm barely wiping it off. That might look different on video, but
that's a good point. That's kind of hard to convey in video. Nobody knows how much pressure you're using, and some people, they really are just very ever so lightly trying to move that, but it looks like they're just grinding on it.
Yeah, and it does. I've looked myself. It does look like I'm grinding on some of my coins, and I'm really not. I don't have the patience to pull out a spray bottle every time I'm hunting, and although I should, and it does help to have one, I do have one. I end up forgetting it or don't want to pull it out of my backpack, and I just throw my find in my finds box and keep going. Not too much into cleaning anything. I keep it how it is after I find it in the ground.
Nice. And I noticed you mentioned you throw it in your finds box, so you must carry, like a lot of the rest of us do, a little tackle box or some sort of a compartmentalized box.
Yep, I had a custom 413 Mass Digger little finds box made up. It has a little foam in there with slits, and you can just slide your coin right in there. And if you want to keep the coin moist, you can just spray the water on the foam, and it'll keep the coin moist. And
nice. Yep. Good point. And I guess that's another thing. What inspired you for the name or even the logo for your channel? I'm assuming that the name is because that's probably your area code and you're there in Massachusetts.
Exactly. 413 is my Springfield area code. Mass Digger for obvious reasons. The clovers and all that, just because my nationality. My mother's Irish, and I had a buddy make my stickers for me, which kind of made my logo. I gave him kind of what I wanted, and he put it all together, and the rest is history.
Nice. Yeah, and like I said, the last I had noticed, I think you're over 400 subs now on YouTube, which that's pretty respectable, only having the channel up for not even a year.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think my name's getting out a little bit. I know Casey was generous to have that giveaway, which helped me huge.
That was a neat giveaway.
Yeah, he gave away an amazing Morgan dollar keychain for if you went over to my channel and liked the page. So that helped out huge, and I can't thank you enough for that, brother. I appreciate it. And it seems like every day it's growing, which is a bonus. It's definitely not declining. It's
right. Slow and
growing.
Steady wins the pace.
Right. I mean,
did you ever think?
I'm humbled that even 100 people like my page. Never mind 400.
Did you ever think when you first started it that it would get to this point?
No way, actually. And I literally said that in my second video because I'm terrible with technology, and I'm so grateful for everyone that's stuck with me this long and everyone that continues to subscribe to my channel. And I did not think I would make it this long.
Or get to this point where you're going, wow, you know, there more than 400 people are watching my stuff. That's kind of cool.
Like I said, I'm humbled by it. I got to be doing something right. I like to think it's just the finds that people are sticking around, because it sure isn't the video quality.
Well, still, I think you're doing a great job with it. And we are winding down here towards the end. Any parting words of wisdom, maybe, to newcomers in the hobby, like struggles that you had where if somebody had been around a little more or something, it would have been a little easier learning curve on you?
That's another good question. My word to newbies would be, probably to dig them all, just because that's what everyone. So a lot of people think that, you know, certain numbers are going to come up on your detector for certain targets in the ground. Say, you know, a guy thinks like just because he's ringing up a high number that it's going to be a coin. Right. A lot of people need to learn that there's a lot more trash in the ground than there is good stuff. Right. So be prepared to dig a lot of trash, because the good stuff is in there.
Absolutely,
you just got to find it, and it gets really nerve-wracking sometimes, because there is days I go out and I dig nothing but trash. I will get a few good coins maybe, but I'll get the whole finds bag full of trash to like a couple coins. It happens, because there's a lot more trash in the ground than there is good stuff.
Right.
But just to stick with it, because especially if you're just starting out on a beginner machine, don't get frustrated.
Right. And on those days where you're digging a lot of trash like that, when you do come up with that one good target, it makes all that trash worthwhile.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing, digging a target that sits there and makes you think of the history that particular find has gone through, or if it's an old coin, the amount of hands that coin has passed through, or who and what dropped it there, and someone walked by this spot that long ago, and just the story behind every find is what makes it for me, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. If they could talk, the stories they could tell.
Well, exactly. I mean, some of these finds are just amazing to come out of these woods, and it baffles me how some of this stuff could have got out there. How
Right.
and when, and who could have dropped it. And story goes on.
Yeah, exactly. When you recover these pieces of history that you find, and you're able to rescue them from the ground and bring them home and put them in your display where you can show them off to people, that story continues now for that find.
Exactly. I mean, I say that all the time when I'm finding awesome stuff. It's like, welcome back to the world, you know? Glad to have you.
Right. Another piece of the past brought back to the light.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Well, I guess if you have anything else to add, I'll give you a few minutes. You can go ahead and mention any other things that you would like to mention, and be sure and let people know where to find you. Plug your YouTube channel and page and stuff.
Sure. Just appreciate everyone who joined us tonight, and you can find me on Facebook at Detecting the Heartland, the Facebook page. And you can find my YouTube channel at 413 Mass Digger. Please, by all means, like and subscribe. I appreciate that. And I'm not much for words. Sorry about that, but
Oh, that's all right. And if they subscribe, obviously, make sure and hit that notification bell as well.
oh, of course. Of course, hit that notification button, because then you'll be notified when I drop a new video, which I try to do if I can get them out every week or two, that's prime for me. Sometimes it's a little harder. I'm getting busier at work now that the winter's starting to die off, so they'll probably go to every 3 weeks or so, but sometimes I get more footage and I drop one earlier, so you never know with me. So hit that notification button and your phone will be alerted.
There you go. And with the machines that you already have on hand, any plans for a different machine in the future?
Absolutely. Glad you asked. I'm going to get a Nox pretty soon, an Equinox. I don't know if it's going to be a 800 or a 600. I heard the 600 is just as good as the 800 pretty much, but
It can be, but you do have some added features with the
No,
800.
without a doubt. I was just going to say there's some, gold prospecting benefits to the 800 and all types of bells and whistles that are upgraded from the 600. I'm not saying it's by all means the same machine.
Right.
I'm just saying it could, it holds its game up to the 800.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great machine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm up in the air about which one I want to get. I definitely want to get one, though. I'm Team Garrett all the way, though, pretty much. I love my Garretts. If I put bigger coils on, I get deeper. But I'm happy with the Garretts.
Nice. Well, we'll have to see. You get that Equinox. It should be interesting to see what you start pulling out of the park then. If you've go back to, like you said, your large scent area, and maybe you're able to kick up a few more possibly. Sometimes it's a different coil, different machine, different angle, and you're able to breathe a little bit of life into those spots that you thought you've hit pretty hard.
The way I'm looking at it is there's no question that my park would be like a brand new park to me with a Nox. I know for a fact I'll be getting deeper than I do with the Garretts. Not knocking Garrett at any way, but those Nox, they get pretty deep. I know they get a lot deeper than I've been getting. But yes, I feel the same way. I feel like I'll definitely be able to hit a lot of stuff that I missed with. And people back that theory up every day on the group. You'll see people post, I found this, missed by my Garrett. I missed this. I don't know how I missed this with my AT Pro. I went over the yard 100 times. I found this with my Nox. So they're definitely good machines.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I would have to agree. And so lightweight.
That's another thing I heard. I heard they're really light, so I'm looking forward to that.
Right. Nice little change of pace, so to speak, from the Garretts. I mean, they, like you said, they are good machines, but it's been my experience that a lot of times the Garretts are a little, front heavy. They're not quite balanced as nicely as the Equinox.
I haven't tried it yet, so I really don't know. I know my Pro and Max with the 5x8 on is feather light. I mean, I could swing that thing all day long with the 5x8. When I start getting the stock coil on, or if I throw my friend's bigger Nell coil on, it does get difficult, and my back starts aching after 4 or 5 hours of hunting. But
yeah, I can remember when I used to swing the CTX, I picked up somebody's AT Pro with the 5x8 coil on it, and I'm like, good grief, if I picked this up in the field, I'd be wondering who just ran off with half of my machine. That thing is pretty light.
I know it is. Yeah, it's super light. I could swing it all day, and I love it for getting in between the trees and stuff like that, and it's just a great coil.
Nice. Well then, good job, great job with the finds, excellent job with the YouTube channel, and hopefully continued success.
I appreciate that, my friend. I got plenty of park to hunt, plenty more videos coming, and I'm sure plenty of great finds still to come.
Yeah, now you just need to get yourself a hunting buddy to stop and visit sometime.
You know, I got a couple friends. They like to say they hunt, and it's hard to get them out there. I don't know. I have no problems hunting by myself, but my couple buddies, they say they're diehards, and it's like I can get them out once or twice a summer. It's like, oh man, you're not diehard. Come on.
Right? Yeah. If I was waiting on you, I'd be finding a whole lot less.
I'd never go. If I was waiting on my other buddies to go, I'd never go. That's just how it is. So I don't mind going out there my 3, 4, or 5 hours before work every morning, or every other day, or however I do it.
Right. I guess that's
plenty by myself.
I guess that's another thing for the newcomers too. Not only don't put too much faith in those screens, but get out there and dig every chance you can. That's how you're going to find the stuff.
That's mainly how I get so much stuff. A lot of people ask, wow, how do you find so much silver? And it's like, I put the time in, and only a few people really know how much time I really put into the hobby.
Absolutely.
I do put a lot of time into the hobby, and it makes up for it. I show it in the video, so I got a lot of finds, you know.
I would have to agree. The finds are relevant to time spent in the field. When you spend the time out there, it's just a matter of time before you run your coil over something very nice.
That's it. And with these parts, it's just so easy to do that. So you kind of got to experience it to know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. I've been out there and hunted Massachusetts a couple of times, and it is just a beautiful place to hunt. Absolutely
lots of history
beautiful
out here.
Absolutely, I would have to agree. Well, hang in there with me for a few minutes, Ray, and we'll get on out of here. So
Alrighty,
I will be back to you in just a couple of minutes. For everyone else, if you enjoyed the show, make sure and smash that like button on the way out. We certainly appreciate Ray taking his time tonight to be on with us. If you haven't checked yet, I'm sure someone's dropped the link in the chat, or the link is in the description. Go over to YouTube, check out 413 Mass Digger. If you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, leave him a comment, let him know you heard him here on Beyond Sight and Sound. Until the next one, though, we got to roll. Ray has been a great guest, and who knows what we'll be back with, but we'll be back Sunday. Have a wonderful evening, folks.